Hey, welcome to Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy. How you doing? What's going on? Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. As always, a show where we talk to entertainment professionals, singers, dancers, writers, producers, all kinds of people that work in the entertainment business, and we talk about how COVID has changed their career path and what they're doing, how they've rearranged to fix it. I hope you're here. I'm babbling. I just hit the button. Sorry. Look, I have a new graphic. Isn't that great? Thanks for being here, man. Thanks as always. Our guest today is John Roy. Guys, stick around. If you want to support the show, you'll have some opportunities right there. There's a ticker above me right there. You can do that. We appreciate your support. Boom. Look, there's some more right there. As little as $1, you can go to any one of these platforms and support the show if you enjoyed. Most importantly, like the video. That helps us a lot. It doesn't cost you a dime. So if you've watched the show and you like the content and you don't have any cash, just like the video, man. Subscribe, any of that. Follow it. It goes a long way. If you want to support the show financially, there's a couple options for you right there. So, guys, sit back, enjoy the show. We'll be right back in a second with my good friend, the one and only Mr. John. Hold on a second. John Roy. Roy. Hey guys, what's up? I'm back. Look, it's me. How you doing? Thanks for being here once again. Lenny Schmidts Quarantine Comedy. We have lots of viewers here today. Thank you. I'm having minor technical issues today, as always, because I'm not good at this occasionally. However, the lighting I think looks fantastic. I think. I don't know. We'll take a look at it later. I hope you guys are all well and healthy and good. There's not a lot going on. There's let's see, a couple things I can announce that are coming up soon. Today is the 2nd. A week from today, we have a show next week. The guests next week will be all surprise guests. It's my birthday next week on Wednesday, so it's a birthday show. My kids will be on, a couple of brothers. We got a lot of stuff going on next week. We'll see if any of you really give a shit about my birthday, but it'll be Wednesday, so that's how we're doing next week. Also, Reconnecting Comedy comes back December 26th. I'll start sending out some plugs and promos for that. That is the live streaming sketch, improv, interactive comedy type show that we did in September. And I was trying to make that monthly, and it's a little hard to keep the upkeep on that. But we will do it. I have people coming back. Stephen Briggs is coming back. And my good friend Cody Dove will be here. We'll be trying some sort of improv that night as well. And that's all I got. I looked through the news. There's not a lot going on news-wise that I really want to talk about. The COVID numbers are terrible, crappy. You can't go out and you can't go eating anywhere. So there you go. Unless you're a politician, they can go out and eat. That's what I'm finding out more and more is every day there's another politician being outed, out having lunch somewhere. There was someone here, I can't remember her name, L.A. Council voted to shut the restaurants down because they're not safe. And then she went out to dinner that night. It's really awesome. So anyway, if you're a politician, feel free to go out and eat because you can explain it. Besides that, one good cruise thing. I know some of you guys are Carnival Cruise members, especially, and quite a few of you lost some cruises. They bumped up their cancellation policy by 5 months. So if you do have a cruise, you have an extra 5 months to make a decision on whether or not you want to up for another cruise later or get your refund. So that's something. Besides that, man, that's all I got. Let's say hello to everybody here. The Mulligans are here again, as always. Thank you guys so much. Both of them are here, Vince and Tammy. Thank you. Keith Runyon's here, only one of the Runyon clan. And Robin Greenberg, of course, is here. We have to say hello to Robin Greenberg because she gets mad. And Rachel Zimmerman, hi, how are you? You guys are great. Thanks for being here so much. I appreciate it. This is going to be a fun show. I have a little, hold on. I'm lost. Bam. There we go. Folks, we have a guy here I've known for years. He's from Chicago. Before we bring him out, let's take a look, and I'll give you a taste of the stand-up of my good friend, the one and only, this is Mr. John Roy.
What's up? I'm broke, like for real. Like sometimes, yeah, I don't know why you'd be clapping. It's a horrible thing. Sometimes I got to eat ramen noodles, right? You don't feel too healthy eating a dinner that's less expensive than gum. At least you spit gum out, right? Ramen noodles stay down there until they're done with you. Although they do give you your daily recommended allowance of salty brown water, so that's good. Everything on a ramen package except the word noodles is a lie. Chicken and mushroom ramen, false. What am I supposed to be like? Ooh, chicken and mushroom. That's a classy ramen. I gotta wear pants when I eat that. How do you put two things on a package that aren't in the package at all? Chicken, how about beige dust ramen? I would accept that.
Oh, folks, please welcome right now live to the stage. I keep saying that, to the stage. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the internet. John Roy. Look, there he is.
Welcome now to his own guest room, John
Yeah,
Roy.
we get a good shot of John's bedroom or headboard. Nice headboard. Look at you, fancy. Look at you. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is, we're in the other room. This is my office / guest room / the closet, everything that we don't need anyone else gets shoved into.
/ where the Christmas box and all the other crap is at the end.
Yeah.
That's nice, dude. Where are you at? Are you in L.A., Chicago? Where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in L.A. For anyone listening who knows L.A., I'm in Koreatown, just off 5th Street in Berendo.
Nice. Right on. Okay, cool. People will stop by and see you now. Now you told them right where you're at. That's a good move.
It's a big building. They won't be able to. I wouldn't have said this if you could just walk right up to the door.
This must be the place. Just walk right in.
They won't be able to get in.
So, how's it going, man? Are you now? I always ask. Dude, we're gonna talk about this show, stand up. You're a stand up comic and a great writer. And but what have you been doing? Did you have you been on the road? Are you one of those guys locked down?
I have dipped. I am high risk. So let's just start there. I have a pacemaker.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. All right.
Yeah. So that's not, I'm, day to day healthy, but there is some complications that if I were to get the severe form of COVID, that would be a bad thing. So I've been pretty careful. I had a gig at the end of March, right before everything ramped up in Seattle, which was like the most high at that point.
Wow.
I think about it now, I would kill for LA to have those numbers.
Yeah, right.
At the time, it was scary.
Yeah.
And of course, it was a fraction of what's happening in every part of the country now.
Yeah,
at the end of March, I remember, there was already not that many people in the airport. And I went and did a week in Seattle that was very awkward. The crowd was clearly afraid of COVID. They weren't really ready to laugh much. And so I did that, and then I kind of ran back to LA, and then I did not step foot on a stage until August when there was a TV taping called Unprotected Sets, and they're showing them now on Epix. And I did warm up for that, and then I taped a set for it. And that I was fine with because I had to get tested. Everyone got tested. They had a pretty strict regimen of, how they were pulling it off. And then I did one other gig. I had a gig in the books with a booker that gives me enough work that I didn't want to back out of it. So I did a gig in Wisconsin, and it was just a 3-day engagement, but everything was fine. They gave me a different microphone.
Was that Appleton?
People spaced. Yeah.
Okay.
But man, I still felt like I got away with murder. So I don't think I'm going back out there again until this thing. I have a gig sometime next spring that's on the books. We'll see when the vaccines start getting handed out where we're at in April. But I'm not going to get on a stage, I don't think, until then. I think the fact that I was able to sort of thread the obstacles with the 2 chances I did take, and I don't want to laugh in the fate's eyes, and I'm just going to kind of take it easy now. And I'm lucky because I have, my wife has a great job. I have radio. Sirius XM is pretty good about playing my tracks, and I've got kind of some side jobs where I do some advertising writing and some stuff I can do from home. So it's not I don't know what I would feel like if I was in a different financial situation. So I don't want to look judgy of anyone who's going out there and working. But for me, because I have the luxury not to risk my life before the vaccine goes out, I'm going to go ahead and count my blessings and take it easy for the next few months and not go out.
Did you, when you did Appleton, did you fly out there?
I did fly out there on Southwest, no middle seats.
Yeah,
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I flew to Chicago. I did not fly to Appleton. I flew to Chicago on Southwest, and I used my in-laws' car and just sat in the car, just me, and put gloves on and pumped the gas, and then just sat in the hotel room eating food brought from home, and basically just sat in the green room wiping everything down and putting sanitizer on. And then I went out, did my sets, then went right back in the green room, and me and the other comics had masks on. And then I drove back to Chicago, and luckily I made it out without – because, like, I was talking to the Wisconsin comics. I mean, I don't know. In L.A., pretty much everyone I see at Vaughn's has a mask on. I don't really see people that are really flaunting it. But the guys in Wisconsin were saying that they're just – going to bars and drinking in each other's faces.
Dude, they're insane.
Like
Wisconsin's like a third world country over there, man. They don't give a shit.
So I just was like, I was happy. I was scared. I was looking out at that audience and going, I don't trust any of you people. I think you were all, doing shots, watching the Packers this morning, and in a bar with
high-fiving, hugging each other.
Any more chances?
Yeah, I did. I did Oklahoma City and. Which one's the other one? I say Wichita. I did Wichita.
Wichita. Okay.
Yeah, and I was more worried about flying than the club. You know what I mean? Like the club was fine. They were real good about microphones and and all that other stuff, and everybody seemed to be cool. But there were a lot of people there. There's one of the guys I met and hung out with and talked in Wichita. He got COVID, man. He called me weeks later, but it was weeks later.
One of the guys from the club.
No, he was an open mic comic, and he's all right. He's fine. He's quarantined for like 10 days or 14 days or whatever. And I called my doctor, and the numbers were off, so I didn't. This is a while ago, so I didn't get anything. So, but a lot of people are walking around that city with no masks on anywhere, like just in the grocery
and also
store.
the stand-up comedy, like it's not just that they're risking themselves. They're sitting there just laughing and like pointed right at you, and it's the only job where your job is to increase their chance of giving you COVID to the best of your ability in a room that is not like everything you say about a good comedy room is like makes it an awesome COVID machine.
Yeah.
You're like, it's got a real low ceiling. Everyone's all pushed up front.
Yeah.
We're all gonna kill. Like, I mean, it's
if you get COVID, you literally did a great job. That's
if you designed a machine to give the most people COVID, it would look like a comedy club.
Yeah, if you actually get COVID, you did a good job. They'll be like, how was the show? Comic got COVID.
Oh my God,
Comic totally got COVID.
You got enough of those droplets up to your face.
He must have been funny as hell. He was. Yeah. He's on a ventilator now.
Oh my God, I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, it was worse.
It's just a thing that I feel like I dodged a bullet, and I was out there enough, and I don't need to be any riskier, than I already have been.
Dude, if I had a pacemaker, I don't know if it'd be even opening my window.
I'm telling you, it was, each time I wasn't afraid of the TV taping because we all really did have to go get tested and get all before we could even enter the building, and the audience all had to get tested too, and we were outdoors, and they were all like 15 feet back from the front, like so. I didn't feel in danger at all there, but in the club I did, and it's not that particular club. It would have been any club. I mean, name a club that has windows.
Exactly. There's none. You complain about windows. There's a cruise ship I did where they had a window in the back, and I'm like, we can't have those windows. You got to cover those up. You got to black those out. That's not right at all.
Like,
we're on a cruise ship.
Want them all in this biodome of germs.
No distraction.
Sound echo also makes germs like spread within a tight radius.
Right. Well, I did the last week I was on the ship. There was back when we started heading home, and then they sent us back out, and then we head home, and then they go, well, can you go back out for like 3 weeks? At the time they go, can you just stay in that ship till we have to get off? And I go, yeah, sure, I'll extend or whatever. So they sent us out, and it was just like 3 days. And they go, you better come back because we're not going anywhere. You're gonna come back. But every time you're walking around the place, dude, every time somebody coughs, and sneezes, I'm in the room and I'm just like, I'm like constantly hiding in the back. I'm not selling CDs. People are like, you want to sell CDs? I'm like, no, I'm not selling CDs.
It's like if they put a train car and fired it into the ocean. I mean, all the ceilings are low. Like, I haven't been on a cruise ship in a long time. I was a kid the last time I was on one. But what I remember was a lot of low ceiling, narrow hallways.
Yeah, and the hallways and stuff, yeah. I mean, they have big space areas. The one thing they do say about the ships, and they're good about cleaning and sanitizing. They're crazy because they deal with that norovirus all the time, which is that stomach thing. And if you get that, man, that spreads by look. I mean, so I mean, it's bad. And you don't hear about many ships with a breakout of it because they're so quick to get on top of it. So they're pretty quick because they know the one ship they screwed up on was that princess ship. The one princess ship that was up in Seattle for a while. I had a friend that was on that.
Well, they just sent one out now, and there's already 5 cases on board.
Yeah.
A ship that launched out 2 weeks ago was the first one back, and there were 5 cases on board within a week and a half.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to.
I don't know. I'm not gonna put my face out there until the government tells me that it's okay. And right now in California, that no clubs are open.
Nothing's open here. No.
Yeah.
You listen to the government? You trust the government?
I don't trust a comedy club booker.
Who do you trust more? Who do you trust more, the government or the guy that booked 3 weeks through the Idaho? Oh, I'm sure he's telling the truth. The guy with the pool? Sure. Yeah, you're fine. What are you worried about? It's all right.
The virus is harmless at one-nighters.
We got new darts, and we wipe off the pool balls every 2 hours. We got nothing to worry about. I don't know what you're bitching about. It's healthy. It's good. Look, I feel good. Guys.
Yeah.
Have you tried a Zoom show? Have you tried doing any of that crap?
I have done a few of those, and I've done a couple that were successful. They had about 6 or 7 audience members that you were unmuted, so you could at least get a laugh and like a gauge on a laugh, but not so much that you were like hearing their kids yell at them or like, the radio from the other room, or, if you leave everybody off mute, then you might as well be that scene in Superman where he realizes he has super hearing and he can't shut it off.
Right.
That's what it seems like. So, I made like a 10-minute set that sort of worked, and I just kind of stuck with it, and they were fun. I mean, it isn't stand up.
Right. No, it's a different thing, man. It's like a different style or whatever, platform or whatever you want to call it. It's a whole different.
But it's odd to, stand up is already sort of weird that it's fully scripted, even in a club environment where you can fudge it and make it sound conversational.
Sure.
When you're talking into a camera and you've clearly written it ahead of time, it sort of seems strange, like a newscast or something. It's like it's an odd egg.
Well, I always like that. I always like the challenge of trying to make it look spontaneous. I always thought, to me, that was a cool vibe. That's one of the things I think that improv helped me with when I studied improv a lot in Chicago. It helped me take the jokes, especially on the cruise ship. There's some jokes I'm telling on the ship, bro. I've been telling for over 20 years. You know what I mean? I pull up all kinds of jokes, and to make that look fresh, to me, it was always like a challenge. I always thought that was kind of cool.
It's easier to do, though, when you're actually talking to someone who's right in front of you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Making
you're
it look
right.
Fresh on a screen in your
impossible.
own room, like it's just an odd thing.
Right.
And then also in stand up, they don't put your headshot in the front row. You know what I mean? Like you're looking at yourself the whole time, and even if you're just in the corner, you still know you're there. It's just an odd feeling.
Yeah, plus
like,
it's all
when you're doing stand-up, you're not sitting there going, wow, my room looks weird. It's not, those thoughts just aren't there.
Well, you have an opportunity to second guess everything, like your life. You know what I mean? When you're talking,
you're looking at the fruits of your labors, reflected back to you.
Yeah, you're like 32 years.
What is this worth? It's worth this.
I've been in this business 32 years. I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is where I've gotten. Okay, good for me. Good for me. Oh man! All right. Well, so Korea. So how long you been married? Well, dude, first of all, tell me about the pacemaker. When did you get a pacemaker? I had no idea you had one.
When I was born, I had heart surgery. So, and I will do my very best not to shove these stand-up bits I wrote on this topic into this conversation.
Sure, make them conversational.
Morning radio.
Make them conversational, man. Like morning radio. So, what's up? Tell us about your pacemaker, there, John.
Bob, will you lead me into the...
Hang on. Welcome to the morning zoo. John, tell us about your pacemaker.
What?
So you almost died, huh? Okay, great story.
Well, they're going to die tonight at the Chuckle Barn. So we're
Speaking of dying,
packs. So I had heart surgery as a kid, so I had there was some scar tissue there. So as you get older, even though the surgery worked, I have had some problems with the heart rhythm just because you get older and the heart gets older. So I had a pacemaker put in after a couple incidents about 2 years ago. So I've had it. I've had it for 2 years.
Oh wow!
I don't notice it anymore, except for the number of pills I got to take. But it's just enough to put me into the category where you don't want to just go, I'm 45. Why would I get COVID?
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Then suddenly you are high risk. Man, this is a trip. All right. Okay. Well, so then, yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere, dude. I wouldn't be open to windows or anything like that, dude. How do you feel though? You look good. You look like you feel everything's fine. I don't know what it's like with pacemakers. So.
Yeah, I could not tell you any difference. Except the fact that there's a bump on my chest and I have to eat 5 pills a day.
Eat 5 pills. Well, you take at 45, you're going to be taking vitamins already. You know what I mean? You're taking more than 5 pills a day. You know what I mean?
You're going to eat pills one way or the other.
Yeah, either. I know, dude. I feel like, dude, I got like a handful of pills I take every day. Now I'm taking the extra vitamins they tell you to take for the COVID. I'm taking the zinc and the vitamin D3 or whatever, and
oh yeah,
yeah, it's supposed to help with the immunity for the COVID. At least that's what I had heard. I don't know if it's working, but I'm taking it. So I've been taking it for months, and I make my kids take it.
Do it until it fails.
Yeah, I'm going to do it
do it until you have proof it doesn't work.
Yeah, until I want to see either if I'm in an emergency room or talking to my doctor, and he's like, "Do you take vitamin D like a lot?" I go, "Yes, I do. Yes, I do take quite a lot." So you need to stop doing that. Okay, all right, fine. I was just going off what I read on TikTok. That seems to be pretty accurate at this point.
I did find that the few COVID jokes I did worked. I mean, they do want to laugh at it.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, like I wondered, whenever something like that's going on, there's those two things as a comedian in your head of, is this something that you shouldn't talk about, or is this something that if you don't talk about it, you'll look like a psychopath that lives in a hole? So, whenever there's something that's out there that's on everybody's mind, I think it's ridiculous. And I always side on the side of at least talking about it a little, because if you don't at all, if you just come out there and be like, car payments, so what? And they're just like, that's what what kind of person's thinking about his car payment?
What's with the toilet seat, ladies?
Under a virus from an old episode of 24.
Yeah, exactly.
And this guy's wondering about his car payments.
Yeah, Jack Bauer's breaking down the door. Just ignore him. Anyway.
Yeah, so I just feel like you kind of have to mention the elephant in the room, but then you don't want to talk only about that.
Right.
But I watched the first two comedians, and granted, they're less experienced or whatever, but they didn't talk about it at all. And I was just like, you look like you stepped out of a time machine then. Like, why are you not talking? So I addressed it a little bit, and I didn't dwell on it, but I got probably 2 or 3 jokes in there and enough but the response was strong because they were new bits. They clearly, but just mentioning it at all, you can feel that release.
Well, you know what I found, like when I was on the road, I opened with it. I opened with about 4 or 5 minutes of COVID and traveling during COVID. So then it was an easy segue into travel. And then I just started my act up again. But then I found, because I worked the crowd a little bit and I like to mess around, I found tags throughout my act where I could just throw in a quick reference. I do a quick reference about hooking up with somebody for the first time. You never met them, just strange, getting, strange sex, but wear a mask. So I'm throwing in, so I start throwing in little tags like that. So, enough of that was enough for them to go, oh, that's right. Things are different now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just enough of a connection.
Yeah. I mean, and if you only talk about it, then they're not able to relax and hear your car payment bit once you get to it.
Right. Exactly. Right. And if you never talk about it, you're like the musicians in the Titanic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're just playing off, dreading. Is there something wrong? Not really. Everything's fine. Yeah, that's no, that's. But you got to talk. I think. But you know what? The guys before you that didn't talk about it, I just think you got to be kind of experienced to get it out there. You know what I mean? To be able to, just, like you said, people will talk about it too much or not enough.
You can't. But the thing is, it's such a weird fine line for the middle and the opener though, because when you don't talk, if you don't feel you're good enough to talk about it, you look like someone who's not good enough to talk about it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like once you've pulled that off the table, you look fearful in a way. Like
Yeah.
you've made this really safe choice to just be like, dating. And then it's like, okay, but also though, I know you woke up thinking about
there's
it.
something
Like,
going on. Yeah.
If you're not thinking about it at all, then you're crazy.
Now you're just a juggler. Yeah, you got to that hurts rebooking too. Some guys, like, you're aware that there's things going on in the world right now. Yeah, I just didn't want to really. I didn't know if I should bring it up. So I don't know. It's a delicate subject. We'll see how guys. I can't. But here's like I'm having a hard time writing, man. Like I don't know. Are you getting any writing done? Because I can't.
I have really written other stuff. I have not written a lot of stand up. I wrote a bit. I wrote some stuff about Biden winning. And that was enough different from, and because that was just me writing about Biden, I didn't have to like think about my life, like you can write about some news thing whenever you want. Sure. But my life has literally been order pickup for Vons, drive and get the Vons, drive back home. My wife works from home. I work from home. I sit at this desk all day long, and I could write about that, I guess, but it's like it's such a Groundhog Day situation that you're just sort of like, well, what is, and then the other thing I'm afraid of is you go back to work when everything reopens, everyone's going to have the same identical.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Everybody's life was the same.
We've lived the same life for the last 8 months.
It's just a strange place where your life was the same as all the other comedians' lives. So the things you're going to talk about, like I made a tweet before this all started, almost as a way to check myself. I wrote, when we come back, can we all agree that the following bits are already hack and skip over them? So I wrote a bunch of bits like, 6 feet away, or as I called it, high school, or like, black, or then for a black comic, they were already walking across the street before this, the mask didn't help, all these bits that I know, because I thought of them in 2 minutes, but it also prevented me from actually doing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was like, all right, dude, that probably would get a laugh, but it's really, really dumb, so you shouldn't do it.
Now I just sold it in a tweet. Okay. Well, now it's a tweet. Yeah, there's going to be a whole, you're right. Everybody's living the same life. I don't know how kind of.
Everyone's living the same life, and they're all comedians, so they're all thinking the same things,
I think they're going crazy too. I can't. I'm having not being in front of an audience is weird for me for like 8 months. It's just been, and that's what's making the hard. Who was I talking to? Larry Omaha was on a couple of days ago, and he's been writing like crazy. He's like, "Oh, I'm writing all the time." But how do you? First of all, you can't write because you can't judge.
The thing is, though, you're writing, but for me anyway, writing isn't writing until they laugh or don't.
Yeah, no. For most comics,
so like the fact that I can fill a notebook full of lines,
right?
Sure, I can do that. And I've got, I've been doing this for 20 years. I have an idea what might work and what might. But you're always surprised, and you certainly need to talk it out for, I don't know, 15, 16, 25 times before it's actually like a bit that like, I don't know. So to me, like say, oh, are you writing? I'm like, well, I'm putting ideas down in a computer file, but I don't think you can write stand-up unless you can try it out, because you don't know what the joke needs until you give it out to people.
No, dude, when I started out, I had 5 spiral notebooks filled with material, filled with writing. That I thought I had material. I got tons of stuff. I can't wait to hit a stage. And, 3 weeks later, I took my 7 minutes and was just bouncing around town with all those notebooks. You never know. You go through so much crap. You're right.
Sure. Well, I mean, the stand-up in your notebook to me is like bacon. Like, so the minute it hits the audience, it's like the bacon goes in the pan and then it shrinks down to what's actually usable. Like the audience renders your material.
Yeah, you like rendered a soup. Like, what happened to all that soup? It's right there. That's it. That's all of it. Yeah. That's the best part. Yes, it is. That's the best part, but that's all there is. That's all we
Yeah,
have.
because you think you've got this whole thing, and you don't know that until they go, yeah, okay.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
how many times do you think you wrote some 10-minute George Carlin
Dude.
master epic bit, and what you really wrote was a one-liner and a
Yeah.
tag?
I am never madder than when I write on the ships. I was writing a lot on the ships. I write all day, and then I try the material, sneaking it at night, and then it was in front of an audience every night. But dude, I never get madder than when I write like a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, this is it. This is
Sure.
the chunk. This is the piece. And you go up, and most of it eats it. I get so angry when that happens, but you don't know until you do it until you do a little bit in front of the audience. You know what I mean? You just don't know. You have no idea.
You don't know. Like,
But I get so mad at
just
myself.
don't.
I get so mad at myself.
And,
I go back to
and my brain, while I perform, will edit the material, and then you'll look at what you wrote down, and you're like, oh, I just cut 5 words without thinking about it.
right.
And it's better now because I went out and said it, and I knew it just should be better.
Well, that's because you're in the mode. That's because you know how to do stand up. I think it's 2 different things. There's writing, and then there's performing. And then when you're in front of that audience and you're spewing out the words, automatically in your head you rearrange bits. Oh, wait a minute, this works better here. Like I've flipped lines
how many
before.
Zoom sets? I mean, with a Zoom set, how do you even gauge? Like, how do you know what? I don't know. I don't think you could develop material just doing 40 Zoom sets and then go, and have the same effect as if you had done 40 stand-up sets.
Well, I think
with
you
the
can.
same material.
I think what you're doing, what I'm noticing, because I've done a handful of Zoom shows, whatever you're developing in Zoom is going to stay in Zoom. Most of that is not going to go onto the stage. Like we had said, Zoom is its own different platform, kind of its own art form, so to speak. So there's stand up, and then there's Zoom.
And it's like I can do stupid gimmicks. Like if I'm doing a joke and I'm like, and then the guy pointed his finger right in my nose. And then you can like do like
sure. There's a lot of stupid camera stuff you
like
can do.
tags that won't work when there's not a frame around your head. And
I do that all the time. I call somebody out and get into the Zoom and hey, John, did you hear what he said? Did you hear that? Did you hear? And then they're like, he's talking to me. And you're like, you know what I mean? We're like, we're all on the computer. There's 9 of us here, dude. There's just 9 of us. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be a different. I don't think we're going to be. I used to think we'd be back on stage. Well, I'm supposed to be in Vegas in a couple of weeks. I'm supposed to play Vegas the week before Christmas, but I don't think that's happening. I'm pretty sure they shut Vegas down again.
Don't think so. No. I mean, what I'm hearing is that the first dose of vaccine gets to frontline healthcare workers this month.
Right.
So, and then it'll start trickling in over the next few months. But I've heard it's not to be going to be till the summer when every single person that wants one can get one.
Right.
And in the time between those first healthcare workers getting their vaccine, you'll just see it slowly ramp down through essential people.
Right.
And I think comedians are about as essential as,
really.
I've never heard what we do described as necessary for society to function.
I think it's obvious at this point that we are not essential. You know what I mean? And the last 8 months, they've made it very clear they don't really need us. You know what I mean? Or they're, it's not like they're going, we need comedians on national platforms right now to entertain everyone. They don't care. Yeah, that's not happening. Plus, we're not even considering.
I don't think you're going to be back in Brad Garrett's next month.
Yeah, I know Caponera did it a couple of weeks ago, but I think I also just booked something in Colorado Springs in January. I have to call that. I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know. See, I'll go out, dude. I don't mind going out. But here's the thing with the vaccine. We're also not even sure that it's going to be good. You know what I mean? Or how it's going to work.
I mean, I say 95%. I mean, I guess they could be lying, and I guess they could not know. But I mean, they've done trials for it.
Yeah, I know. But even though you've done trials, I don't think you understand. They still don't have it's not a mass of people yet. I mean, I understand that there's a small amount of people. But,
no, I don't know when you'll actually get any benefit from some people having taken the vaccine. Also, in a comedy club, you're dealing with the people that are the least cautious. They came out to the comedy
there's
club.
A lot of
so these are people who knows what the fuck else they're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
These are the people that you have to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always, and
they
so
thought my stupid 45 minutes was worth risking their life over.
Yeah.
So already their thinking is not where it ought to be.
right, especially Late Show Friday. You can't trust those people at all. They don't, I mean, they're risking everything. So
And by the time you've talked for 10 minutes, they're drunk. So now their judgment is even worse.
judgment shot. Yeah, they have no idea.
The only thing you know about these people is they drink.
That's true.
That's all you got.
That's the only thing you know about anybody in a comedy. That's true. Yeah, you don't know if they're in a group function. You don't know if they paid their ticket. You don't know anything.
You know there are people who won't mind paying for 2 drinks because they have to, because they know they're gonna get their money's worth.
Yeah.
The water drinker goes, I don't know if I'm really going. No drinker is gonna be slowed down by that. That's who you got.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, so they're not exactly a good gauge to be measuring. So I don't know, man. I guess just more Zoom shows moving forward. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Good old Zoom. Well, I am going to have to get dinner ready. So I'm going to have to take off. But
Dude, go, man. No, thanks for coming to the show.
I wanted to plug a couple things. If people want to hear what I actually do for a living, I've got 3 albums on Spotify and Apple Music. Just type in John Roy on either platform, and they all come up. And yeah, that's probably the best introduction to what I do. So yeah, just look for those. Just look for the John Roy section on whatever your streaming music service is.
Dude, perfect. And also, this video will stay up on YouTube. I shared it to Facebook, and I'll put that information in the description so anybody watching can come and click it as well. So you're set to go.
Oh, and I'm at John Roy Comic on Twitter and Instagram.
Bam. There you go. Folks, John Roy, that's my good friend. Give John Roy a nice big round of applause. Go make your dinner, buddy. Take it easy. Thanks.
Will do.
Yeah, that's John Roy. Look at that. That was my friend John Roy. Hey, guys, thanks. I forgot to say hello to you guys. I apologize. John and I started talking about COVID and the Late Show Friday, and I got all excited. So let's take a look. Keith mentioned touching his chicken. That's very nice. And the bacon analogy was hilarious. I've never heard the bacon analogy before. You're right, Keith. I think that's perfect. I'll share. What about the comedy line workers? You're right. Comedy frontline workers? I don't know. The waitresses should absolutely get some sort of vaccination. That's what I think. They got to deal with the people. That doesn't seem very cool. They got to get some sort of respect. Make sure you guys all like my video. I see 11 people watching and only 9 likes. That means 1 or 2 of you are not playing up, doing your part of the bargain. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for being here, man. Well, let's see. We're off till Monday. I don't have my phone right here. Wait, let's see. Oh, you know who's here Monday? My good friend KP Anderson is here Monday, who is a stand-up comedian, also a writer, and a producer and a showrunner, actually. He was the showrunner for The Soup, which you saw with Joel McHale. He worked on that show for years and years and years. He ran that show. He was in charge. And he'll be here Monday. Very good friend of mine. Oh, Tammy right there. Looking forward. Friday night comedy and drink. Wait, to Friday night comedy. Oh, there's no show Friday. Yeah, there's no show Friday this week. I'm sorry. We're back to Monday and Wednesday. We're not doing Friday shows. I'll post a video on Friday, but I'm not. I won't be doing a live show on Friday. So next week is KP on Monday and my birthday show on Wednesday, and that's what I've got for you people. You guys have been the greatest. Thank you so much for being here. Do me a favor, as always. I keep looking around at different camera stuff. As always, thank you guys very much, man. Thanks for being here. And you guys, as always, do me a favor. Can I say as always one more time? I don't know if I can. I think it's possible. Folks, you've been great. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week on Monday. Enough babbling. Do me a favor. Oh, let's do this while we have a second. Bam. There's your financial options right there. You can go to any one of those platforms, donate $1. Also, think about the Patreon page. If you're a Patreon member, I will send you an email. Actually, right after this. I have a little bit of time, obviously, so I'm going to send you an email. And we have our writer session this weekend, and then we have Reconnecting Comedy coming up on December 26th. So any input you guys might have for the shows, if you're involved in the writing sessions, we can talk about it this Saturday. 4 p.m. Pacific time is the time for the writing session, so I hope you guys can make it. You guys are the best. As always, do me a favor, dream of Pinky.
Lenny Schmidt Quarantine Comedy was created, produced, and is hosted by Lenny Schmidt. We live stream on YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Special episodes occasionally stream or are uploaded on Tuesday and Thursday. Every episode is also launched as a podcast and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. If you enjoyed the show, please like the video. If you really like it, share the video. If you really, really like it, please subscribe to the Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. You'll get updates on this and numerous other online comedy content that my dad produces. Check the info section below for detailed information on all of our guests. If you are a fan, you can follow and support them as well. Go to their page, like their content, buy their albums, purchase their shirt, any merch they may be selling. Anything you do will support performers will literally help save the arts. In fact, if you want to support this show financially, just go to lennyschmidt.com/ifyoucan or Venmo at Lenny Schmidt Comedy. If you donate as little as $1 or as much as $10,000, it will help pay for the stuff my dad keeps breaking. If you can't pay for the comedy content, that's okay. COVID sucks for all of us. Enjoy the free show. If you want to find a way to support what we do, just subscribe to Lenny Schmidt Comedy channel on YouTube. That really helps a lot. Thank you for listening to my dad's show, and as always, dream of Pinky.